Hey guys, welcome to Strongman Sunday. We have a special guest this week, the one and only world's strongest woman, 3-time world's strongest woman, Rebecca Roberts. How you doing?
I'm good, are you?
Yes, we saw you a little bit earlier, didn't we?
No, I'm home with a glass of wine and chilling.
Well, we had a good session today. There was no passing out on log, so it's
I
worth celebrating for sure. Today. How is everybody in the chat? Hope you guys had an awesome week. I had fun yesterday watching East versus West 18. And I know we don't really talk too much about arm wrestling, but my goodness, Levon Sagnashvili is an absolute beast. The guy is just freakily strong. And they had Brian Shaw on the show announcing that the next East versus West is going to be part of the Strongman, the Shaw Classic.
Yeah,
which is pretty cool for someone like me that loves Strongman and loves arm wrestling.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to that. But hope you guys have had an amazing weekend. We are here and looking forward to spending the evening with you.
There we go.
I'm just going to check because I don't know what the hell you've done to the setup here. It's a little bit different than normal.
I know. I don't know what's
Normally,
happened.
I can see what's going on with in terms of numbers. I just got to check that people can hear us. And
all right, Lasso. It's not my fault. There's the numbers. Look, it's because we hadn't pressed that button.
Right.
But in with a very generous super chat, Michael Scott. Thank you, Michael. Big shout out. And thank you as 50-year-old strongman who shouldn't be your top priority. I always feel like I am. Sending the compare pics of my log clean from my videos was awesome. You always go the extra mile. Best coach in the business.
Thank you very much, Michael. You are a superstar as well. Man in his 50s that's just getting better and better, loves the sport, dedicated to it. And, you know, I don't mean to sound rude when I say this because obviously we all kind of want to focus on the superstars of the sports that we do. Rebecca Roberts, 3-time world's strongest woman, Coach Mitch Hooper. But for anyone that does strength training, it's about your own personal journey.
Yeah. And
you should be focusing on you getting better. And I'm like that with my arm wrestling. I just want to get better, enjoy it, and if you're enjoying it and you're improving, it's fun. And Michael's a great testament to that. So thank you very much for the super chat, buddy, and just keep working hard.
Well, I was training with Rebecca today. Imagine if I was comparing myself to her, it would be very depressing.
Yes.
She literally did double I did on the yoke.
It's all about people getting in and doing what they can do, though. Like, I will always have the utmost respect for people that just go in and give it what they've got. And just do it 100%, whether it's 100 kilo, 300 kilo, 500 kilo. If you're going out and you're smashing it and you're hitting those PBs and stuff, all respect to you.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Can people hear us, Lozzie?
I believe so.
There we go. And we've got another super chat this time from Carl. Thank you, Carl. Loz, I tried your advice about handing the baby over to the wife and going to the gym. I've now been relegated to the couch. Oh, dear. Do not take marriage advice from Loz. Okay. We have a lovely marriage because I'm such an understanding person and so patient.
To be fair, Carl, I was a professional strongman at the time, so it was like I was going to work.
Yeah.
Just to defend myself.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. You might not have been here for it, Rebecca. I don't know. You do pop in on our Strongman Sunday, so don't you?
No, I do remember this comment, and I do remember Loz giving this advice.
Oh, good.
I can only give advice based on personal experience.
Yeah. Yeah. This is an interesting one. What's your plan to fix Mitch's trap bar issue? So I've seen a lot of criticism about Mitch's technique on the trap bar deadlift.
Right.
What are you doing to fix that?
Well, he had a pretty good session today. So,
did he?
Yeah.
Good.
Believe me, by the time Mitch is competing, he'll be fine. Mitch has gone through a lot the last couple of months, and it's obviously affected his training. But do not hesitate and worry about what Mitch is doing. We've kind of, we've got things planned, and he will come in shape for strongest man on earth. Let's remember, okay, for Mitch, he's never done a trap bar deadlift. Like, people might not believe this, but why would he need to? I hardly ever did any trap bar deadlifts through my career. It's just not something that's ever had to be worked on. A little bit of it is just adjusting foot position and then tapping into his natural strength, which is that leg power. And just adjusting, we only today found out the exact height that he's going to be pulling from.
Oh, okay.
So there's, more and more information coming out. And trust me, by the time the competition comes around, Mitch is going to be fine.
I've no doubt. Rebecca, have you done trap bar deadlift in competition before?
No. Probably the last time that I lifted a trap bar was maybe 6 years ago. When I didn't have a car deadlift set up and it was a side handle car deadlift. I used to do trap bar deadlift just to be able to kind of train a side handle deadlift, like to carry over to that. But apart from that, no.
Yeah.
Jack's log was insane, said Cousin Fred.
It really was. I mean, that was just a bit of fun, to be honest.
Yeah.
He's been focusing more on reps. We've been focusing on the one motion style because he's got 150 kilos for reps coming up in competition. But we saw Kilishkovsky do the ladder and went up to 180. And Jack was like, I reckon I could do that. I was like, all right, before you do the stuff that he hates doing, the shield carries and I said, have some fun. Because training should be fun.
Yeah. I
want people to enjoy training. And obviously Jack loves the log. And he did 190 and it was so damn easy. He's like, can I go for 200? I was like, all right. You can go for 200.
It's your special treat.
And it's a special treat. And even that was the boy is strong. He deserves. I personally think I'd love to see him in the log lift world championships. I think he's got a good shot at the British record.
Yeah, I think so.
I think the world record is still
right now,
a few years away. People might not think it's that far away, but at that level, it is. But it's so good to see that power he's got. And the comments from people like Mitch Hooper, Graham Hicks, Kilishkovsky, people that understand how impressive it was. It's nice to see because you always get the negative comments that people that lift 10 kilos put in.
Yeah.
But when you see people that really understand strength commenting so positively on what he did, it's cool to see. He's still got a few areas that we need to improve to really get him to that world-class level. When it comes to log lifting, he's one of the best.
Yeah. Just trying to catch up on the comments from when we went live. Thank you very much, Cousin Fred, for gifting memberships. There is a new members video. Wow. It's about a week old now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Day in the life of me. How boring.
I watched it and I thought it was hilarious.
Oh, thanks, Becca. One of my biggest supporters. I needed a lot of support from Rebecca earlier during the gym.
Why?
When you bloody picked me up and had the... You have some wacky ideas.
Liz was like, she said to us, she was like, okay, we need a photo together. Every gym session we do, we need a photo together. We need to make it funny. And I was like, well, what can we do? I was like, why don't you go above my head and put a weight over your head?
It's when you two asked me about it, I'm just like, what?
You were really scared, weren't you?
Loz was all like health and safety over here, and we were like, oh no, let's just go and do it. It'll be fine.
And I'm on top of you, like grinding this weight up. Try not to drop it on your head. Dalton, just want to say thank you to all three of you. I needed an excuse to take a break from mowing my lawn. There you go.
It's definitely worth taking a break from.
Yeah. Loz, do you think Rhyan could crack top 10? Maybe higher in arm wrestling.
Maybe. Look, he's a good few years away from that right now. But Rhyan's loving arm wrestling. He's committed to it. He's enjoying it. And, it's one step at a time. His next match is a tough match. Top 10 is something I wouldn't really be focusing on right now. It's got to be down the line. But the goal, I think, for any athlete should be to keep getting better. He's got great potential. Arm wrestling is in a high position right now. And I mean, someone was asking me at arm wrestling tonight, he could be number one. I think Levon is so
far away.
Levon is probably one of the most dominant athletes there are in
any sport.
Any sport. He destroyed one of the absolute best guys in the world this weekend. He made him look like a beginner. It was that, he's just that far ahead. So to crack kind of number one would be insane. But top 10, look, the top 10 in any sport is a supremely high standard, but Rhyan has amazing genetics. He's going to have lots of matches before that, get lots of experience. I mean, if you talk to any of the top arm wrestlers, it takes 10 years to get to that kind of level.
Yeah.
Rhyan, even with his genetics, it's going to take half that time, let's say. Let's see how he is in like 2-3 years' time. I think it's not going to be before that kind of time that you'd see him cracking that kind of level. But hopefully he keeps enjoying it, keeps getting better. Like myself, I'm loving arm wrestling, and all I'm trying to do is get better and not put a limit on how far you can kind of get in the future.
Rebecca, you enjoy arm wrestling, don't you? Like to do, not to watch.
Yeah, I don't like watching it. Well, to be fair, actually, no. When I was watching what was it called when you were...
Oh, yeah, the Iron House.
Nah, and I was giving you little updates via text, like,
Hold on a minute. You weren't giving me updates. You were nervous, so you were texting me because you were so nervous and you needed my reassurance. You were like, "Oh, Loz is up. I'm so nervous." I was like, "What?" You are funny.
It was good though. I enjoy it. I made up my own arm wrestling move that we called the Roberts twist.
Yeah.
I remember Neil going on about that.
Yeah, and he actually went and taught it to Brian Shaw.
Oh, there you
There you
go.
go. Kudos to you.
He was like, it's a big person and it's a small arm wrestling table. And like the way that I managed to twist as I was pinning down, he was like, that's really good for a big person to be able to do. And he was like, maybe Brian can kind of do that and get his body weight into it properly.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah,
So if Brian does reach the top, you'll be part of that journey.
There you go.
We've got a comment here from Hater XXX. Rebecca, your weight loss has been insane to watch. Keep up the amazing work. You are inspiring a lot of people.
Good stuff.
Oh, thank you.
How much have you lost now, Becca?
Like since my heaviest, I've lost 60 kilos. So basically a Liz. And then since the Arnolds, I've lost just over 20 kilos, but I'm maintaining now.
Yeah. Yeah, you got Britain's Strongest Woman next month, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, got to come in strong and ready for that.
Cool t-shirt, by the way. Also, Rebecca, is it new? Is that a new SBD?
Yeah, this is like the purple SBD new range. It's also pretty. Like I come into the gym feeling like a superstar with all my purple.
So bougie. Denise, Liz, how sick of you are you of hearing fast feet? When I'm doing something, I can't hear anything but the like a screaming in my brain, going ah. That's all I can
voice
hear.
is screaming.
It's me. Yeah. It's my own voice.
It's your own voice.
If your feet were fast, you wouldn't have to hear it though. So.
Oh, that's so mean, Becca. My feet would be fast if I didn't have to carry the heavy things.
You've got faster every time you've done it.
Ha! I've got faster every time I've done it.
Today was your best run.
On the oak? Yeah. My second farmer's run was a bit iffy, though.
It was like you were drunk.
I was everywhere. Oh, dear. Hi, Becca. Did you spot Lucy Underdown reffing at the UK Strongest Man? Have you watched any of it?
I've not watched it because I've been really busy this weekend, but Lucy shared a photo of her and Johnny reffing side by side, and I was like, that is the cutest thing I've ever seen.
They wear the black and white. It reminds me of Gladiators, the referee there, because they wear the black and white stripy tops, don't they?
Yeah.
What fun.
Yeah, it's very old school.
People saying UK's was fun, some promising new athletes. Paddy doing some impressive split jerks.
Paddy won Group 1, I think, and Andy Flynn won Group 2.
No, I don't mean to. I hope this won't come off the wrong way, but is it me or the group's ridiculously unbalanced?
It looked like Group A was much tougher than Group B.
Because in Group A, you had the reigning champion, Paul Smith, Paddy Haynes, Chris Beetham, who's Scotland's strongest man right now, I believe, Matt Diamond, who is Wales' strongest man, all in one group. Yeah. And then Andrew Flynn was in the other group. And I must admit, I didn't really know the other names in that group. So I just thought that was...
I thought Group
a bit odd, yeah.
But I haven't seen it, so it's hard to kind of say, and you got to have new people, you got to give them opportunities. But yeah, it did seem heavily stacked to one group because I think Matt has been second at UK Strongest Man.
Yeah, he has last year, I think.
Yeah. So you had Paul Smith, who's won UK Strongest Man. You got the guy that came second at UK Strongest Man. You've got the favourite to win UK Strongest Man.
Paddy.
All in one group. Yeah. Scotland's Strongest Man. Yeah. So that looked pretty stacked.
Yeah. Where are we? Rebecca, when we met at Rogue, you told me how out of breath you were watching the CrossFitters warm up. I totally agree with this. But how do you add in conditioning to your strength training?
The thing is with Strongwoman and CrossFit, it's two completely different sports. Like I was watching the CrossFitters warm up for an event by doing like a 5K sprint. And I'm like, what are you doing? But I never have to do anything like that in my competing. So like Loz has me doing like air bike sprints. I go for walks every day. I just need to be able to work hard for 60 to 75 seconds. CrossFitters need to work hard for 15 minutes, 20 minutes sometimes even an hour, like their events are. So it's just like being able to kind of get that cardio in for like 60 seconds, 75 seconds, and just be able to work through that whole time.
It's just very different in terms of what your end result is. I mean, the CrossFit athletes are superb. They're just incredible all-round athletes, whereas a strength athlete, as Rebecca just said then, you're trying to be conditioned to do something flat out for 60 seconds and recover quickly from that. You don't need to kind of have that endurance to run a marathon, whereas CrossFitters need everything. They're just freaky athletes. But obviously, where you do the strength training, your focus is being strong, and the conditioning is like the secondary focus. Their strength is secondary to being conditioned and fit for so many events. I mean, we have a lot of events in Strongman, but CrossFit's even more. There's so much that they have to do and be conditioned to.
But we only ever have to do our events for 60 seconds. That's the problem.
90 seconds, absolute worst case scenario at the Arnold. But usually you're not actually doing something for 90 seconds, are you?
Yeah, I'm stood there looking at it for 20 seconds.
Yeah. Do it. Look at it again for another 30 seconds.
It's being fit enough for the sport that you do.
Yeah.
So like and I say this with like flexibility, because people come to me, I'm not mobile enough. 9 times out of 10 they are.
Yeah.
You need to be able to do the movements that you're doing efficiently. If you can't do them efficiently, then you need to improve mobility and flexibility. But if you're able to get into the position you need, you don't actually want to be overly flexible either, because that can be detrimental to top end strength. So it's like just understanding your goals.
It's like for my squat, I'd never be able to power lift really, like unless I really, really worked on it. But my squat's fine for strongman. It can get to strongman depth, but for powerlifting, it's no.
Strongman depth? What blasphemy! Surely it's the same.
No.
I don't think Rebecca's. Have you ever done a squat in a competition?
I have once.
Yeah. How did that go?
To be fair, it was 2019 Wales' Strongest Woman, and it was 140 for reps. I think I got 8. So it wasn't awful. It was about 6 years ago.
You do a lot more now.
Yeah. Catherine is still waiting for a Rebecca emoji. Rebecca, if you could be so kind to send me a small picture of yourself that you'd be happy to be turned into emoji for our channel members. Yeah, no, something that's more actually you. None of this fake cute stuff. Rebecca has marketed herself so well as like this sweet, innocent woman.
No, I said to her today, I was like, before we kind of started working together, I thought you're so sweet and innocent. But you're not.
I could tell you some stories, does it?
I don't want to know.
Oh dear.
I'm a mess.
I'm not impressed with Jack there.
What were you going to say, Becca?
Said I'm a mess.
You're a mess.
That's fine.
We wouldn't want you too polished. The Jack Osborne log video you recently uploaded is one of the most impressive videos I've seen in a long time. Just insane.
Yeah, it really, really was. Obviously, we mentioned before, but Jack's pressing is just superb. And I'm trying to do everything I can to get him a little bit of notice. He deserves it. I mean, you know, he's beaten a lot of people in certain comps, and there's a lot of comps that are put on in England where it's always his worst events. And he's gone, you know, he was second going into the last event at the Arnold's Amateurs this year.
He was.
He's beaten, you know, people that have, you know, the Champions League that Thor did last year.
The one in Dubai? Yeah.
So the guy that came second in that, Jack beat in a competition last year.
Oh, okay.
He's beaten some real good guys in certain shows.
He won the Chaos Classic last year.
He won the Chaos Classic. He's just got to kind of improve a little bit on things like loading and stuff. But to you know, if you want to get invited to a lot of these things, you kind of just need to be a bit better all round. But his log is phenomenal, and I'd love to see him get a chance to at least go for the British record.
Any pro tips for the sandbag to shoulder with a very heavy bag? Not super long, but definitely heavy for me.
Pro tips. I mean, when it's really heavy, something that's worth doing is try and get a hand under and kind of just work it up your body. So you're kind of using triple extension through the ankles, hips, and knees, and kind of trying to catch it a bit higher and work it up a bit higher and work it up a bit higher. But essentially, get stronger. You know, if you're stronger, it always helps. Without seeing what you're doing, it's really hard to give too much advice, because you might be just really messing up the technique on what to do. But yeah, you kind of want to use that whole body. You don't want to think about kind of lifting with your arms. Your arms are kind of acting as a stopper almost, and you're trying to generate that power through the lower body and just keep working it up, catch it, work it up, catch it until you get it up to the shoulder.
Matty competed at Blackburn Strongest yesterday. Feels completely battered. Does that feeling ever go away, you two?
When you kind of compete and you compete hard, then I mean you've just started doing event training, and you know what you feel like.
I feel
it's
battered today.
It's totally different to a hard bodybuilding session. A hard bodybuilding session, your muscles ache and you get that DOMS feeling. A hard strongman session, you feel like you've been run over by a bus. It's not the muscles that ache, it's like the joints.
The skeleton hurts. Yeah.
And you just feel like you've just been battered. But your body does start to get more used to it the more you kind of train and condition yourself. I remember some competitions where I just felt absolutely ruined afterwards.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I remember.
Other competitions, as you get stronger and more conditioned to it, you can feel okay.
Yeah. One for you, Rebecca. You're looking insane at the moment, helped by Loz, but is Liz's input really the main help?
What kind of input are you giving me, Liz?
Right. You've got the best of all worlds because you've got Team Loz coaching, but Team Liz attitude. You've got the Team Liz mentality.
I've come out like the perfect love child.
Exactly. Oh, dear. Day in the life of Liz was a lot of fun. Hope your neck's feeling a lot better now, Liz. I'm good now. Thank you. Me and my granny incident. Brian, we love Rebecca.
Thank you very much, Brian.
There we go. Where are we? Any other Brits struggling to train because of the heat?
A lot of people are struggling with the heat. A couple of things to think about with the heat. Normally, your strength is fine, but your endurance, I guess, suffers more. You find you get zapped a little bit quicker in the heat. Two things to really focus on. One is stay hydrated. You need to drink more in these kind of conditions to keep your body hydrated. And when you get dehydrated, you will see a dip in performance and increase the risk of injury. So staying as hydrated as possible and just keeping yourself out of the sun. Yeah. You know, if you are training outside, do what you're doing and then get out of the sun. And most of the time, hopefully you're indoors away from the sun being on you. But it is important to keep that hydration level high. You know, really focus on that over food and everything else in the hotter weather. But also remember, if you're going to compete in strongman, strongwoman, there's going to be times you've got to compete in the hot weather. So don't use it as an excuse to not train or kind of, not do things.
How are you competing in the heat, Rebecca?
To be fair, in an honest way, world, on Friday I had to call my deadlift session because things were not moving very well at all. And at the minute, we don't want to risk injury with me.
I think to be fair, like that wasn't just heat related though. You'd been ill that week, and we had to kind of, decide. All right, let's leave it because we knew you were away Saturday working, and I think sometimes you can't just blame the heat on that one. There was other factors going into that as well.
Yeah, but usually I just push through it and sweat my ass off.
Do you find you need to drink a lot more in this weather?
Oh yeah, like even since this live stream, I've had like about
3 glasses of wine.
No, I've had half a glass of wine, but I am hydrating as well.
Okay, good to see.
Is important.
One glass is for dehydrating, the other one is to counterbalance.
Balance.
It's all about balance. Here we go. A topical question from Michael: are you disappointed about Rauno missing Strongest Man on Earth?
As a fan, yes. I was looking forward to seeing him there. Obviously, you want to see all the best guys competing. I'm sure Brian's disappointed that he's not going to have him. Obviously, World's Strongest Man, he's a big name. But I understand why he's not doing it as well. And you have to respect that. But from a fan's point of view, absolutely, I want to see him compete.
Yeah. Dalton, thank you for the super chat. Liz, for your cheerleading section at Wiltshire's, what are we doing for that? Matching t-shirts, air horns, confetti cannons? I will kill you.
I am the chairwoman of Liz's cheerleading section. I am bringing my blow-up unicorn costume. And everyone in the cheerleading section has to have something unicorn related. So if you can bring a unicorn horn, wear unicorn colors, bring little pom-poms, it'll be perfect. We'll just go to the corner. We'll arrange a little cheerleading dance, and we'll go for it.
Dalton, you actually coming? Because he might be. He's from the States, but he's
coming for.
He's traveling for the competition the day before the Giant Size World Open, and he's talking about coming down to Wiltshire for it. He's a madman. Oh God, blonde wigs, Dalton suggests Jane. Maria, I think, has maybe posted a sticker.
I think it was a sticker.
Yeah. Thank you, Maria. There we go. Cousin Fred, thank you for the super chat. As I have said before, I have a ticket for the Shore Classic. Anyone who wants it can have it for free. Just find me there.
Oh, wow.
Oh, there you go.
Cousin Fred has a free ticket for anyone that wants to join him.
There you go. Rauno's deadlift is a thing of beauty. His latest deadlift video was unbelievable. You know he gets strong quick, but seeing it in action is mind-blowing.
Yeah, watching Rauno lift, like being in the gym and just watching him lift and training with him,
impressive.
you're just like, damn, that man can deadlift.
Yeah, he can. The day in the life video was great. Highlight was seeing Loz warming the hamstrings up for the reel. Cybernetic Strongman. Hey, Rebecca, what did you and Loz do to help you from getting lightheaded on the log?
So
can you tell them what you did?
Oh, wait, no, I don't know.
Can I tell them one of the things that you did?
Fuck it, yeah, go on then.
We've done a number of things, and trying to suggest some, interesting things. Actually today, Rebecca was down to see my physio, and you had some treatment today, and that seemed to help. And you had a great log session.
The other thing that we did to help.
That was like my suggestion. Actually, Darren contacted me, and he was like, I think from watching the video, he thinks he can help you. We've worked a little bit on breathing and understanding positioning. And, we had a great session today. But Rebecca messaged me the other day, and someone had given us some advice to take a Viagra. So she's like, fuck it, I'm going to try it. You popped a Viagra before your log session.
Well, half a tablet.
Yeah. And that went okay as well, didn't it?
It went up.
It went up, and we've had.
It shot right up, and it stayed there.
We've had a couple of good log sessions, so things are definitely on the up.
You lot are so cheesy.
Hopefully, they stay up.
Oh, so there you go. But please, disclaimer: do not take medical advice from this channel. We will not be held liable for anyone walking around.
But we are aiming for 8 reps at the comp now. With
like today, I got 5 reps.
Easy 5, yeah.
In 36 seconds with 92. Yeah. So
very nice. It's been great seeing more of Becca. She truly is inspirational. That's nice, isn't it? Yeah. Oh no, look, it's my interesting fan, Mohamedou Liz.
He's your number 1 fan.
Shahlaei Dula.
Uncle Oz, do you think Auntie Liz can total 550 with a 3-month prep? What do you think will be a more prestigious goal for her? 550 with a conventional deadlift, or 600 with a sumo? I think with sumo, she'd probably total 700. So, especially we don't see for 2 months.
What are we talking about? Pounds?
Kilos. 2 months, sumo deadlift, 700 kilo total, no problem.
Don't be ridiculous. You're all so silly. Where are we? 1 o'clock for Becca. Oh, look, Paddy's in the chat. Congrats,
it's the champ,
Paddy.
Paddy dominating day 1 at the UK Strongest Man.
Yeah, it's interesting how they're doing it this year, because it's
split over weeks.
Split over 2 different weeks, isn't it? Very interesting. And it's different venues, because it was Milton Keynes this weekend, and I believe it's Nottingham for the final next week.
Interesting.
Yeah, that is strange, isn't it? But there we go.
Hope it was a good weekend, Paddy.
Yeah. Everyone's saying hello to Paddy. We've got a super chat. Thank you, Alejandro. Crazy, a slimmer 380 Rhyan is still bigger than most active athletes and primary tester of the strongest man on earth. Also, hola, Rebecca, kick ass.
Ryan's a beast. Just a beast of a man.
Yeah. Have you met Rhyan in person, Becca?
No.
No.
He'll make you look small. He's massive.
To be fair, like the only person that I've met strongman wise that makes me look like a normal sized woman is Gav. I feel like everyone else, I kind of like look.
Yeah, Bilton's big. He's a big man.
Thor's big as well.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Thor. Yeah.
Yeah. Where were we? It was the Rogue Invitational last year. We were discreetly putting you next to the strongmen to see how many of them you were taller than.
Yeah, and I was taller than like at least half. I'd say.
I think the only ones taller than you there were Thor, Tom, and Pavlo.
And Evan as well.
Oh, Evan gets a lot of shit, but he's actually tall.
He is actually
People
tall.
are, you're not that tall. He is tall.
No, he is.
He's like 6'5", I think 6'5", 6'6".
Yeah, he is. Yeah, genuinely. Lots of people congratulating Paddy on his great weekend. Can Rebecca close the 2.5 captains of Crash, or 2.5? And how many women can close it?
I've credit card closed to 2.5 twice in my life, to like the certification standard, but obviously not officially. But whether I could do it now, I don't know. But to be fair, the other week I did do grippers. For anyone that understands grippers, I no set closed Captain's Crush number 2 for 10 reps. So I'd say I was fairly close to being able to close it now, if not being able to.
The thing with your grip, it's super strong, and we don't really focus that much on grip. We were talking about this today, because if Rebecca was just to solely focus on grip, she would be breaking records.
Yeah.
But the thing is, her grip's already winning her enough points in strongman. It's not a weakness or something that we concern ourselves too much with. Grip has never been an issue for her. So for us to focus too much on grip would take away from so many of the other events that we need to focus on. But we spoke today, like it'd be nice to put a little bit of time into trying to really kind of see what you could do on certain things. But that's the thing as a strength athlete, you're trying to be good all round. We're not just focusing on one lane. And I had this kind of, like I was saying to Rebecca today, there was a point my grip got really good. And then it's like, I don't need it to be better.
No,
because that's not going to get me more points. And at the end of the day with strongman, it's not really about who's the strongest. It's about who's the best well-rounded strength athlete.
Yeah. So
for Rebecca, we're trying to get to that point where you can chuck any event at her and there's no weakness. So that might mean we back off on things that we don't need to work as hard on, work harder on the things we do need to work hard on. But it would be nice to just really focus on something like that at a certain point.
Fred, thank you very much for the super chat saying your next guest should be Toby.
Toby, get him on the channel. We'd have Toby on.
We would. I do have the next guest lined up already for next week.
Unfortunately, Toby probably can't top the next guest.
No. Should I say who it is? He's confirmed. Yeah. So next week we've got Rauno now coming on. He wasn't sure if he was going to be doing this week or next week, but he's doing next week.
We have the current world's strongest man on.
And the current world's strongest woman on this week.
You get all the stars on here.
How nice. Then we've got the one after that will be the post Strongman Classic live. Then we might not be going live for 2 Sundays because we'll be in Orlando, Florida for a family holiday. So you guys are going to have to...
Maybe. We'll see.
Cope without us.
We'll get Alexa on holiday.
I don't think we should. How is Evan's Nana going to compete at the Santa Monica Classic when he's in the lineup for the Strongman Champions League next weekend?
He's not doing the Santa Monica Classic.
Okay.
He's unfortunately had to pull out of that.
Okay. Glad to hear it because that's exactly what I've been doing with the Sandbag. Thanks, Lars.
Good stuff.
I don't know if that one's joking or not, so I'm not going to read it. I've been tricked into reading out some really stupid bloody things before.
Maybe they were giving you advice.
No, they weren't. They were asking me to
maybe this person was giving you advice.
Oh, shut up. Is air conditioning not a thing in the UK? No,
it's not.
Not like central air like you guys have. Some people have those massive standalone air conditioning units that will cool down a room.
The thing in the UK, it's probably only worth having air conditioning for 2 weeks of the year.
Yeah, if that, some years. Yeah. Some years you don't even need it that much, do you?
So we just suffer and complain massively for a few weeks.
Yeah.
And then we're okay again. I try not to complain about the heat. I love it hot. Like, the hotter the better for me. I'd rather it was hot than cold.
I'd rather it was hot than cold as well. Loz has got sunburnt, says William.
Do we look sunburnt?
On there you do. Here in person, not at all.
I think I'm just a bit flushed from. I've come
flushed.
straight from arm wrestling.
Yeah. Well, I've been
sweaty.
noticing when I laugh, my face goes really red. I think it's the light, to be honest. And it is hot in here as well. We've had to turn the fan off for this.
Yeah, our buildings are designed to keep heat in, as Matty says.
Yeah.
And I mean, in the afternoons here, it gets ridiculous, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, when the sun's going. Yeah, no, it's awful.
It's better to go outside at that point.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. People talking about overhydrating. Will there be a part 2 of how Thor's strength feats? It was a great video. Thank you, William. We could easily make a part 2.
He's done so many amazing strength feats.
Yeah.
If you haven't watched it, check it out. It's not had that many views, to be honest. Not too many people watched it.
Disappointing.
So if you could, if you liked it, please share it. And the more people that watch it, then it gives us an incentive to make more.
Yeah.
Obviously, if no one's watching it, then we don't want to make more. But I enjoyed doing it. And I mean, Thor is just an amazing athlete. He's done so many impressive lifts over the years that it's easy to forget a lot of them.
Yeah, definitely. Dalton is coming from the US to watch Liz, and the Deadlift Championships is just a bonus.
Absolutely.
Here's Dalton. I was needing to find other things to do other than just the Deadlift Champs. Now, Wiltshire's is the primary reason. Deadlift is filler. Still need to come up with some other stuff.
Yes.
You should do a session with Dalton in the gym.
Dalton, if you want to come to the gym
down.
On the Monday, then you're more than welcome.
Yeah, I could recommend some nice hotels in the area. How about that? He was like absolutely shocked at how much cheaper our hotels are compared to an equivalent in the USA.
Somewhere like London would be expensive. But
Yeah,
where
of
we
course,
live, it's a
the
lot
major
cheaper.
cities. Yeah. Is Becca dressing as a unicorn at Wiltshire's, and will Loz dress as Gru?
You'd get away with Gru as well, to be fair, Loz.
His legs aren't skinny enough.
Lots of wrap him in cling film.
Oh dear.
Jake would love a Liz transformation video. Diet, steps, workout, water, and anything else practical that would be helpful.
I don't have. If you remember, the day in the life kind of goes into a lot of that, doesn't it? Because I show everything that I eat that day, and I talk about training and steps and all that kind of stuff. So it's kind of there. I don't feel like I've transformed enough to do a transformation video. Like, I've transformed my attitude slightly.
You should have a look back at some of those when you joined in for a session or two.
I
at
did.
The strength
I watched one the other day, and I was squatting 40 kilos.
and whinging about everything.
Yeah, I still.
But your attitude is a lot better.
Yeah. Where are we?
People talking about the Viagra comment. Viagra, it thins your blood as well, so yeah, it can help with that.
Yeah. Just need a Viagra sponsor now.
Hit me up.
Call a doctor if your log stays up longer than 4 hours.
2 years, 1,000 kilo total for Liz with a sumo, definitely.
For God's sake.
New world record incoming.
I prefer the childish comments.
People just like to see me get wound up about people's kind of, unrealistic goals.
Yeah.
And I'm just onto it now.
What? Is that what Loz said?
I suppose for men it would be different. This is why I wasn't too scared about trying it.
Yeah. What's the worst that could happen?
I've kind of lived my life like that. What's the worst that can happen? It's worth trying. If it doesn't work, don't do it again.
No.
Paddy Haynes getting lippy in the chat. Your live guests have gone downhill since the first one, Liz. What fun we had, Paddy. Paddy was a great guest, actually.
I thought we were friends.
He was heckled a lot more than Rebecca's being.
I'm a nice person, apparently. I try to be.
I so want to see Martins do Brian Shaw's grip gauntlet.
I want to do Brian's grip gauntlet as well. I think get me and Martins to both do it. Yeah. Is
it the blobs?
Yeah, he's got loads of things.
Yeah.
I want to kind of have a play with it all.
Okay. Lots of people excited for Rauno next week.
Good to hear.
Someone saying Paddy should join a live again. We'd let Paddy back on.
If Paddy does well at
The Strongman Classic.
we'll let him come on.
Yeah, at least 5th place, Paddy. These are our
I was going to say top 3.
Oh, okay.
He gets podium.
They're really good events for Paddy.
They are really good events. It's a really stacked lineup,
very
isn't
stacked
it?
lineup.
Yeah.
But he did just come 5th at World's Strongest
did
Man, so he's
indeed,
proven that he can come. Well, he's 2nd at Europe's Strongest Man. The guy's doing okay right now.
Yeah. Ryan, thank you for the super chat. Hi, Rebecca. Do you think you will compete at the Shaw Classic in your career? And if not, why not? Sorry, I had that bit.
Right. Liz gave me permission to be non-PC, so blame Liz for anything. But no, I don't think I will. I had to catch up with some of the other girls that are doing it this year, and the women just don't get treated as well as what the men kind of do.
I think the problem for the women, sorry to interrupt you, Becca, but it's not got the same incentive. It's not like you win the women's, that's it. There's no women's pro show, if you like. There's only the men's pro show, and then there's the Strongman, the Shaw Classic, which is men's and women's competition, much lower in terms of prestige. Obviously, for the men, the winner of that show gets to then compete at the pro show the following year. But for the women, there is no pro show as such.
No.
So at the moment, for the UK and European women, it's really not worth the cost to go over there and do.
No,
if Brian gets to the point of making it like the men's show,
the Strongest Woman on Earth show,
then that would be a different, story altogether, and it'd be something I'm sure that you'd look at doing.
Yeah, because even if you win, you're not covering your expenses anyway, and it's not like a big recognised title for the women. Yeah, if that changes in future, it's something that I'd look at. But right now, I've got too many big shows in the year, and it's not something that's a priority, really.
It's an open weight women's competition, though, isn't it? It's not a pro competition.
Yeah.
And yeah, like you said, the cost of going there, you wouldn't make that in prize money. It's an expensive place to travel to from Europe.
I mean, Rebecca's on at the moment. Obviously, I coach a lot of women, and I'm honest with them. And at the moment, the women's side doesn't bring in the money that the men's pros get, or the men's pros bring to the sport. The men's heavyweight is what brings the most fans to Strongman at this current state. That's not to say things don't change in the future. And certainly we're seeing more and more fans turn up for the women's shows. But at the moment, other than Rogue, no one can really invest into the women's side the same. Like Rogue have that format from the CrossFit. They're also not worried about losing money through tickets because it's a whole promotional experience for them. So for them to include the women isn't such a hard hit in terms of ticket sales and stuff. So it's improving all the time, but right now the women's is still a few years behind. I think eventually it will get there, and we need more fans to keep coming into it. We need the women to keep promoting themselves, both in terms of competition but on social media as well. Because look, when I was competing, it's not like it is now.
No.
The sport has got better and bigger. And we just need to keep, getting more and more people involved. We'll have hardcore women's fans here, but the reality is, as you kind of move out the big picture, it's not where it needs to be yet to kind of get that financial backing and security. I guess it's a big risk for people to kind of put that same money into the women's side. It will get better, but as it stands, Rogue is the only competition that can kind of put that money equal.
Yeah.
But then there are some things that Brian could do that wouldn't cost him anything, that would help support the women a lot more. Like in the first year, I think he did it. He let the women do one event in between the men's pro show events. He stopped that now, and it's why? Do you know what I mean? You're putting the women on a big stage. You're letting them do at least one event in front of the whole crowd and giving them that exposure. It doesn't cost him any more to do it. You can let the pro men have a break. It's just small things like that as well that kind of, don't know, that he could do to.
I'm just playing devil's advocate in this position, and there will be a reason that Brian stopped doing that. And at the moment, it might be because the interest turns away. And I love watching the women. Actually, I prefer to watch the women's show at the Arnold's than the men's. But if it's turning certain people away that aren't going to pay to see it, he has to weigh that up as a promoter and think, okay, this is kind of acting negatively towards my show. And at the end of the day, he's a businessman looking at making money. He's not doing it just out of the goodness of his heart. He wants Strongman to grow. There's no question about that.
Yeah.
But he wants to make money from the product at the end of the day as well, because if he doesn't, he's not going to be able to keep putting it on. So I think as athletes, because I was the same when I was an athlete, all I'm thinking is from the athlete's perspective. But when you step back and you see how much these shows cost to run, and you see how certain things act in different ways, it is hard when you're that promoter and you're the one that's kind of taking the financial hit to think, all right, I'm going to take a risk on allowing this to happen. It's, you know, it is understanding from every single position, and I'm just sort of making people aware of maybe why he does things in a certain way.
Yeah.
It's not always as simple as, why not just do this? There's many factors sometimes that come into things.
Here's a really related comment, actually. Please ask Giants Live team to bring back Nations. I loved that one. The teamwork looked so fun. That was fun.
And again, I loved that show.
Yeah.
And I spoke to Darren, it lost money.
Yeah, I know. And
so
Channel 5 didn't buy it either because it's not part of the tour and not part of the lead up to World Strongest Man.
I know Darren enjoyed the team comp.
Yeah.
I know we loved it. You loved being there. I think the athletes loved it. But if you're not making money, you can't keep putting these shows on because we don't have. It's not Strongman's not making enough money that you can kind of then take a hit at certain events.
Do you know what I wish they'd done though? Is played around with the format a little bit, because they did it the exact same both years, really, didn't they? With a small variation in the athletes. I think more nations.
I'd love to see that.
Yeah,
I'd love to see. We just watched the.
But that means throwing more money at it if you're bringing more people.
We just watched the World Cup of Darts.
Yeah,
and it's so good to watch people just get behind their nation.
Yeah,
and you can do it in so many formats. I totally agree. But if he's doing it and it's a big risk and it's taking out money and then it's taking out work from some of your shows that are making you money, I understand it. You've got to kind of think of it as a business at the end of the day. Like I've been telling Darren I want him to do a Masters comp because I think it'd be cool. From my perspective, but maybe from his perspective, it's a really bad move because it might not make money. And you know, that's the reality.
We all talk from our own perspectives, don't we? Picky Pitchy, hey guys, why did Thor not post his 455 kilo deadlift this week? Do you think he missed it? He did miss it. He said he missed it.
Did he?
He's not been well, and he missed it.
Okay, so there you go.
Yeah, he said that on a Twitch stream, I think it was. Yeah. Someone saying, I'd love to see a video of Donna Moore's most epic event performances. Becca, turn away. Donna's sandbag carry at the 2021 UK Strongest Woman was insane.
Donna's a legend of strongwoman, like 3-time world's strongest woman, one of the goats for sure.
Question for Rebecca from El Press Cat. Does Rebecca have a celebrity or athlete crush? Is there an athlete you like?
No, I don't think so.
Describe your ideal man.
Jason Momoa, Aquaman. Give me some of that.
I would go with that if he weighed about 30 kilos more.
Yeah, like he needs to put on a bit, but
strongman version.
That vibe.
Yeah, it's a good look.
I'm just going to take my bald head away and at least I've got a beard. There you go.
Exactly.
And for you, I'm buff. So
yeah. Chris, thank you for the super chat. With you guys not there for 2 weeks, Paddy and Andrea can take over, and Rebecca can try and keep control of them. Oh, that would be a hot mess.
Keep control of me.
I think Paddy would just give up on life trying to control Rebecca and Andrea. That's a task for anyone.
Yeah, you don't have
them wife
together. Yeah. Loz, do you think a strongman can be good at Highland Games? Which strongmen have been good in Highland Games events in the past?
Absolutely.
Jeff Capes.
Well, Jeff Capes was very good at Highland Games. Jean-Paul Sigmarsson, a guy called Sebastian Venter. He came second at World's Strongest Man. He was very good at Highland Games. Misha Koklaev, unbelievable at Highland Games. There's a lot of strongmen that can cross over well to Highland Games for sure. There's a lot of guys that have done both.
Yeah,
definitely.
Have you dabbled in Highland Games at all, Rebecca?
I've tossed a caber, and then obviously like some of the rogue events have been like the single arm, like sandbag tossing. But I'd love to be able to do it, actually. I only tossed his cable like in the middle of an expo arena just for a bit of fun. But I didn't die. Nobody else died.
That's good.
So success.
Bonus. You okay? Should we move on?
We were talking earlier. It would be so nice if you were able to come up to Scotland at some point with us for the Donald Dinny Day and all of that and the stone lifting. They do the Jan Todd Games there as well now.
Yeah.
You'd be very good. Rebecca, do you ever train at Area 51 or is Pro Strength closer for you?
I've never trained at Area 51, but I would like to go at some point and train with Gav. Gav's offered for me to go down, but it's just, I think it's about a 4.5 hour drive from me, and Pro Strength is about 3. So I come down to Pro probably like once a month, once every 6 weeks or something, and just get a session in.
People chatting to Paddy just saying that
his focus is the Strongman Classic and England's.
Yeah, that's what he's been training for. So England's, of course, is a qualifier for next year's Britain's Strongest Man, which puts you back on the path for World's Strongest Man. I mean, he came 5th at Worlds, but you can't rely on that anymore, can you? With the reduced lineup and everything, it's nothing's guaranteed anymore.
I think you want to earn your spot as well.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, you want to prove that you belong there, don't you? Paddy talking about his rusty plates. I don't know what he's
Weight is weight.
Yeah, so I heard about this, Laura. Did you see no strongman or strongwoman at the Arnold UK next year? Such a shame, especially for the women. Apparently, the Arnold's page replied to a comment saying that there wouldn't be any strongman or strongwoman competitions at the Arnold's UK next year. I think that's a massive, massive oversight on their part, because I feel in the UK in particular, strongman is the dominant sport at the Arnold's. I think you get more strongman fans at the UK Arnold's than any other sport.
We certainly did when Eddie was involved.
We did.
Certainly.
But so the one that they did last year, the problem is they didn't advertise it.
I know.
There was no marketing for it at all. Had they put the same emphasis that they do on the Columbus, Ohio with the social media and stuff, they would have packed that place out. They would have packed out the competition and sold all the tickets as well. So I'm guessing the fact that it wasn't majorly successful is the reason they don't want to invest in the strongman/strongwoman.
Maybe.
But I think it's a huge oversight. They've already announced the dates a year in advance. If they throw everything at promoting it, I think it'd be a huge success. That's just my opinion. Because talking to Jan Todd in Columbus, Ohio, she said it was coming back. She was under the impression it would be the competition as well. So
we'll have to wait and see.
Shame. Hi, Loz, Liz, and Rebecca. How long has women's strongman competitions been going for? It's great to watch. It's great to watch both. Rebecca, you know a lot more about the history of strongwoman than I do. Go on.
So World's Strongest Woman, I think the first World's Strongest Woman was 2002, 2004. Well, that's where Jill Mills started winning it, and I think Annetta Florschik, she kind of dominated the 2008 to 2012. No, 2000 and something to 2012 era. I don't know.
She's got the most wins, hasn't she? Is it 4?
Yeah, she's got 4 titles.
Yeah.
She was the early 2000s. So I think, and it missed a few years because it got kind of popular, and then they were like, "Oh no, let's not do it." But then they did bring it back. I think it was when they brought it back was 2004.
2001 was.
2001.
They did the first ever World's Strongest Woman in 1997.
As a one-off competition.
Michelle Sorensen won that. And then it wasn't held again until 2001 when Jill Mills won. And then 2002, I think, is when they did it as part of the World's Strongest Man. They ran it in the same kind of format. Jill Mills won that as well. It might have been those 2 years, 2001 and 2002. And then Annetta Flojcek won for Poland, then it wasn't held, then Annetta won again and again, then 2007 it wasn't held. It's been a bit sporadic like that for a number of years, and then wasn't held again in 2009 or 10. 2011, 2012, 2013 was consistently held. Then 2014, 2015 it didn't get held. And then Donna Moore won 2016. And since then, other than 2020 with COVID, it's been held every year since.
Okay. Aaron, is it? Thank you for the super chat. Tristan Hoth is now in the Strongest Man on Earth. Who would you like to see as a reserve?
I just want to point something out. I was like, who the hell is that? And I'm just looking on the Wikipedia page for the results from World's Strongest Woman. You won your first in 2021, didn't you? Apparently, according to Wikipedia, 2021, 2023, and 2024 World's Strongest Woman was Samuel Martin. Let's see if I can.
Who the hell is Samuel?
I don't look at Wikipedia.
If anyone's any good at Wikipedia, could you go in and edit
that? Can we correct that, please?
Right, Loz. Tristan Hoth is in the Strongest Man on Earth. Who would you like as a reserve?
Who would I like, or who
do you think?
I actually think I don't know. Obviously, Paddy's turned it down anyway.
Yeah.
I think Luke Stoltman.
I think Luke
was in the final of Worlds. He obviously won Britain's Strongest Man. I think he's great at the log lift, so that's a great event for him to go and focus on there.
Or Nick Gardione should be next.
Nick came second in the qualifier that they had last year, which is the Strongest Shore Classic.
He beat Bryce Johnson, who has been invited, and he tied for 11th place at World's Strongest Man when you put all 25 athletes together. So he's the highest guy who hasn't been invited.
But I think Luke Stolman.
I think it will be Luke. Yeah,
that's who I would be kind of looking at.
Yeah, hopefully Luke's back's okay because he was really struggling at Worlds with spasms. Think it's too late to bring in a reserve for Strongest Man on. I don't think so. Like they've still got 2 months, haven't they, to train to be a reserve. So I think for most guys,
I think sometimes at this point, like if you want to be the reserve, what you're really doing is trying to get your invite for next year.
Yes. Yeah.
You go there as a reserve, you kind of work hard, you kind of help out, you be willing, you show that you're keen. That shows the promoters that this guy's kind of, reliable, and then it increases your chance of being invited the following year. Yeah. That's what you're trying to do in that position. So if you're an up-and-coming guy, I'd take that opportunity.
People saying they really love the World's Strongest Nation competition.
We did as well.
Come on, Loz, organise a Highland Games competition. Loz is not qualified to do that. Are you? No. The team show is what got me into Strongwoman because I got to know the female athletes. Please get Trey Mitchell on. I would love to get Trey on.
We will try everyone this. We've kind of said we want to try and get more guests on for the.
Everyone loves Trey. Yeah. Hello from the Philippines.
Sebastian Venter was great. He was.
Did Thor ever do Highland Games? I bet he would have been good.
He would have been very good. Yeah. He certainly did events. His throwing's awesome. Someone just slightly lower saying Gregor Edmonds was good at Highland Games. Indeed, he was. Very, very good. World champion.
Also, any tips on how to get my first girlfriend?
You two can answer that. Go on, put it up. There you go. Rebecca, how does someone get their first girlfriend?
Don't be a creepy stalker.
I was just about to say, don't send creepy DMs.
Just be a nice human being. Yeah. Have a little bit of a personality. And look after your hygiene. And you're done.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, make you smell good, look as good as you can, and don't be a weirdo.
Yeah. What does "don't be a weirdo" mean? What weird things? What are like?
Do you know what's attractive?
What are 3 things that guys do that they think they're being nice, but they're doing it wrong?
The whole, honestly, no, because I'll start some sort of war. All right,
well, there's probably people watching. I'm just trying to help some guys.
I tell you what's nice: quiet confidence. Right? Don't be insecure. Yeah. Don't be needy. just be yourself. And if it's meant to be, it will be.
Just like
If it's
me.
meant to for you, it will come to you. Yeah. And just don't push it. Don't push it too hard. Like, just calm down,
what she
chill, have fun, be nice, be friendly, be welcoming. And, you know, if she's interested in you,
And have massive traps.
yeah, then she'll let you know. Have massive traps. There you go. Right, let's get this weird question off the screen. There's no strongman at the Arnold UK, so good last time. It is a shame. It is. Where are we? Oh, we've got a super chat here from Chris. Thank you, Chris. Any suggestion for a Masters, Loz? Hey, suggestion for a Masters, Loz. Doncaster Dome?
Doncaster Dome would be pretty good. I think the York venue that they did the Britain's Strongest Woman last year, and they're doing it again this year, somewhere like that. Good, not too big a venue, but something that we could fill out. I think it works well.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, you don't want a massive venue, do you? Let's get Rebecca to the gathering this year. Lift the Dinnies. I bet you could, said Carl.
I'd love to be able to do it. One thing that is on the top of my bucket list, though, is going full Sturka with the Husafell in Iceland. It's something that I really think that I can do. It's just getting out to Iceland and doing it.
That would be really cool.
Pay for me to go to Iceland and do it. Please hit me up.
Yeah.
Nate said, I would want someone younger and newer than Luke. I don't know. You want the guys that are performing right now, don't you?
Yeah. I mean, I always say, like, I don't want to see like old guys invited for the sake of being invited, but if they're genuinely good enough, which he's just come top 10 in the world, he won Britain's Strongest Man, he won Europe's Strongest Man he's won it a couple of times in the last few years. He's certainly still good enough.
This is interesting. Did Tom not say in a recent video that Luke turned down his invite, or am I tripping? And someone else saying Luke turned it down. No idea. Maybe he did then. Yeah, maybe he did. Thought it was Luke Richardson that turned it down, but he got injured anyway.
Luke is injured. You spoke to Luke, didn't you? And there was no indication of whether he'd been invited or turned anything down.
No, I don't know. Maybe I got in too early. Who knows?
Trey needs to win a big time show. I'd love to see him win this year's Strongest Man on Earth. I mean, technically, he's won it twice. It just wasn't the same name.
Yeah. Oh, someone else checked Wikipedia and it said Rebecca Roberts. How odd.
Very odd.
Hey, look. Giants Live is here. Hey, Becca. Did you do Blue Peter in the end? And did you put on a show for them?
I've not done it yet, but I am in talks with Blue Peter, and I'm going to be filming early July and doing a record attempt. Actually, I've got to jump on a call with them tomorrow, and they want to discuss what record attempts I should do. So if anyone wants to give some suggestions, Loz, I don't care about your opinion. I care about the people in the comments.
Of course.
For what record I should do, because they want suggestions from me, and I have no idea what I should do.
Time to
I think after today, a car walk or a yoke would be good.
Yeah, but they did a yoke with Lucy, so
it's good for you to beat it.
I was thinking like a farmer's walk, maybe with some people in my hand. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
Someone said they just edited Wikipedia, so it should be all good now. And apparently this is Colin Bryce. He said, yes, detective, always enjoy a bit of Loz and Liz. Oi, oi. Well, we look forward to seeing you in a couple of weeks, Colin. It was like, it hasn't been ages. We saw him at Worlds, didn't we?
We did see him at Worlds,
yeah.
And he had a hat for every occasion.
He did. We were in the hot tub and he came
Sometimes
in
he had three
wearing
hats
a
for an
top hat, I'm sure. He came in the pool.
Never seen a man have that many hats.
Yeah. Oh. Lots of a bit of debate about whether or not Luke was asked, or no, I don't know. I meant recently he's podiumed in some big shows, but hasn't won since those first short classics, as far as I remember. Trey.
It's true. They're the only show he's won, aren't they?
Yeah, they're his only international.
He was podiumed twice last year at Giants Live. How many times has he been fourth at Worlds?
Trey.
Yeah.
At least twice, possibly three times. At least twice.
He's so capable of a big win.
Yeah, Trey is. A beast. Yeah. It's usually just one thing that lets him down, isn't it?
Yeah.
Bless him.
And the Arnolds, it's always his grip on that frame.
Yeah.
Always the frame, yeah. And it's been there every year that he's done the Arnolds, I'm sure. Yeah, what a shame.
Wikipedia was edited 7 minutes ago.
Oh, there we go.
Let's see what it says.
It.
There we go. Now
go.
we've got the champ where she belongs.
Rebecca.
Oh,
Samuel Martin. Right, Loz, can you look after the chat? 'Cause I'm absolutely bursting.
Goodness.
I've been drinking so much water.
control your bladder, Liz.
I can't. Don't you say anything while I'm gone.
Rebecca, N.A. Rushton says the frame carry for your record attempt.
Oh, well, to be fair, we were talking about this earlier as well. Loz gave me a right talking to before that frame carry, the second one. Apparently, who was it that told you about it?
It was one of the staff members from Rogue that were like watching backstage, and they came up to me and they're like, I was so motivated. I wanted to go out there myself after what you said to Rebecca. I was like, I can't even remember what I said to you in the heat of the moment. It's just at that time, I knew I had to get you focused and.
Yeah, because I was having a tantrum. I was having a little bit of a strop because I was going to go out with no chalk on my hands just to prove a point.
Yeah,
but I didn't need chalk, and that I genuinely wasn't.
It was one of those things, but we got you kind of focused, and you went and smashed it.
Yeah, he sat me down like a child, basically, and told me I needed to put
some. Just occasionally, on those odd occasions, you just need it. It was just one of those times where we had to get you in the zone, but. That's what coaches do. Rebecca, and we have a laugh in training, but there's a time when it's time to be serious and take things as they should be.
Time to switch on.
Yeah.
Do you find what's best for you, Becca? Like obviously the programming, but really you could probably program yourself. So what's the most important factor for you when it comes to like finding a coach, a competition coach on the day, or the stuff leading up to a competition?
I think it's the whole process and accountability and having somebody that I trust to be able to talk to about things. And obviously my programming, I probably could at this point program myself, but then even the best athletes in the world and have coaches themselves. I don't know.
I think when it comes to ourselves, it's good to have someone almost hold us back at times because we can all. I'll put myself as a competitor. There's times you're like, I just want to push. I want to see what I can do, and you almost need someone to hold you back in those situations, or just see things from a different pair of eyes. Because you can give other people the best advice, but sometimes when it comes to yourself, you just need someone kind of making you be a bit smarter at the right time. And obviously, like someone like Rebecca, she knows more than enough to program for herself. She knows how to work hard, but having that, I guess, confidence of reassurance sometimes, or just someone to say, no, today you're going to just stick to the plan. Someone that you can kind of just contact, whenever it's not always a conversation about technical stuff. I have experience of competing for 20 years in multiple different shows. And what that means is Rebecca has someone that she can talk to that understands what she's going through, because sometimes very few people actually understand what it's like to be in that pressure situation of, a world's strongest man competition, world's strongest woman competition, or the Arnold.
The expectation.
Understanding the expectation and pressure that you get from other people. You're going to have people, oh, you're amazing, you're going to win this. But I know Rebecca, we said it today because there's someone that came to the gym that was like starstruck because 3 of us were there. And we're like, how can you be starstruck by us? We're just a bunch of 3 idiots. But but it's understanding, she knows from my perspective, I'm just going to treat her like a normal person.
Yeah.
And a normal person that's actually been through what she's kind of been through. I think it does help sometimes, just that mental side as well as the physical.
A suggestion from Toby. I think Colin has to be a guest on a live soon.
I would have Colin as a live guest.
It would start
but he's
late.
Very unreliable at starting on time.
Yeah, it would start late. And
I think that's fair, isn't it, Colin?
Yeah, it would be very erratic. Colin is at his best when he's editable.
Colin's awesome, but yeah,
I really enjoyed the chat me and him did before Worlds.
Good.
Yeah,
it was good, and he's amazing at what he does. Like Colin in front of a crowd, getting people hyped up.
Yeah, he's great.
He's just awesome at it.
Yeah.
I remember when Colin almost got cancelled. I think it was like World's Strongest Viking, and he was doing the commentary for it, and I was loving it. I sent him a WhatsApp, and I was like, "This commentary is amazing." But he was saying some non-PC stuff, and it was hilarious, but people were getting upset by it.
I'm sure Colin's almost cancelled most years, to be fair. He keeps going back.
That was the most hilarious one. His commentary was hilarious on it.
Question for you, Rebecca. What's your actual height?
6'4".
Genuine.
Yeah, she is genuinely 6'4". I know because I sat on her shoulders today and realised how terrifyingly high up I was.
I'm 6'2".
She is taller than you. Yeah. Lots of nice comments about Colin. Right, we've been on for over an hour, and Rebecca, we really appreciate your time. So thank you for joining us, and we will let you go. We will let everyone go, and we will go.
Yeah, definitely. Have an amazing week, guys. Thank you again for joining us on Sunday. We'll be back next week with the current world's strongest man, Rauno will be here. Rebecca, thank you very much for joining us, and awesome work today. Really good session. Rebecca's starting to look strong again.
Yeah,
she's coming into Britain's Strongest Woman, ready for that title.
And yes, we would definitely have Radzi as a guest if he would come.
Radzi's awesome.
Yeah.
Any guests you want, suggest them, guys. Send us messages. See if people want to come on. We will get more and more guests on Strongman Sunday. Take it easy. Have an amazing week. We'll catch you guys soon.
That's it. Smile and wave, Becca.